This is the way I'd compare it. I'm as much part of the family as her family. I'm as much part of her family as a family pet would be. They expect me to reduce myself to their level of understanding. Oh, Contep. Jesus. He's just after doing a spot weld, and I'm after getting it right in Jesus. And that's one of the other things, and I've said it a million times. One of the frustrating things about being married into a Thai family where none of them speak a word. Hang on. Hi guys. I'm sitting on 2 bales of hay or straw or whatever you want to call them. And why am I doing that? I'm doing it to highlight something. I haven't got a clue what's going on here. The in-laws are here, or should I say the outlaws are here. The Beer Bandit, if you're used to this channel, that's my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, has arrived here in Pontoutini with 2 bales of hay. And I haven't got a clue what's going on. This isn't just about 2 bales of hay, lads. This highlights the fact that when you marry a Thai woman, if you're in my position, or if you're in a position similar to mine, you won't be privy to any kind of information as to what's going on within the family. They've just arrived, 2 bales of hay. I don't know what's going on. I could ask him in my brutal Thai, and he probably won't be able to understand what I'm saying. And he couldn't, but he won't be able to converse with me in English because he hasn't got a bloody word of English. And that's one of the other things, and I've said it a million times. One of the frustrating things about being married into a Thai family where none of them speak a word. Hang on. Of English. Yeah. Siesta time by the looks of it. Again, here's the deal. We were supposed to be going home today. This is Sunday. The original plan, we came up on Friday evening, Friday night, Saturday night. Wonderful. Himself and the missus and their grandkid. Yes, their grandkid, because they look after the grandkid. Because in Thai culture, the grandparents look after their grandchildren, because they let their kids go off and live their lives, you see. And that's common practice here. But he's having a siesta there. The 2 bales of hay are there. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I really don't. But you may have experienced something similar, whereby you are not privy to the crucial bits and pieces of information that pertain to everyday life with a Thai family. You're always on the periphery. What's this fella shouting about? I don't know what the hell this is. He's selling bits and pieces. He looks like he's a broom salesman. Gee, I swear to God. It's days like today when you realise how much of an outsider you are in Thailand. By the way, before I venture to find out what's going on, well, I'll do my best to find out what's going on. That's the brother-in-law, and that is typical Thai, typical traditional Thai, I'd say. Just, that's the way they are. And the thing about it is that most of the Thai people I know in Bangkok are well educated and westernized to a degree, but her family are so goddamn traditional, they haven't got a clue about what goes on in the outside world. And he doesn't really care. Sure, I suppose you can say to yourself, sure, fair play to him. Why should he care? I still don't know what's going on. They've driven up. The reason why I'm curious about this is because they've driven up here all the way from Bangkok with 2 bales of straw for no other reason, and he's just lying there now. She's told me to load up the car to go home. I mean, what the? I just don't know what's going on. God damn. It's her car, by the way, not mine. Hello. you'll notice when I said that to her, there was no acknowledgement. It was just a wave of the... I don't know if you saw that, if the camera caught that. That just goes to show that you're a complete outsider. You're just surplus to requirements. Oh, dear God. They're so insular. Jesus Christ. And that's the thing. Maybe it's just me. But I can't stand insularness. I can't stand it. There's a big outside world out there. They haven't got a clue. Why does that annoy me? I don't know. Maybe it's just because they expect me to reduce myself to their level of understanding. Look, I'm sorry. I'm just annoyed. Hang on. If you're wondering why I'm not wearing shoes, it's because I couldn't be arsed kicking shoes on, putting flip-flops on and kicking them off, and putting them on and kicking them off. You know, it's a pain in the hole. Every 2 minutes. By the way, if you hear the plane above, we're on the flight path to Dong Mung Airport. That's where we are now. And speaking of that, he's never left Thailand, and his wife has never left Thailand, ever. How about that? Talk about insular. There's more things I had to pack up. By the way, putting the stuff in the car doesn't mean we're going home, because I've got something to do here before we go home. We got to do something online, and that won't happen for another hour, and it won't be finished for another hour and a half. There's somebody else over there, look. Can you see her? I don't know what she's doing. Apparently she's a relation. She's a distant cousin. And the wife went off to the market this morning. She told me she was going. I was still in bed at the time, and Harry was in bed. And she said, I'm going off to the market, just take care of Harry. Am I stooping here? So yes, she went off to the market. And she was gone a good while. And then this one appears. Out of the blue. No introduction. No forewarning. Not that I need a warning, but you know what I mean. Just somebody appears into the garden and you don't know who they are. So then I called the missus. I said, oh yeah, she's my cousin. Oh, what the... Nothing. It's never rang to, oh, my cousin will be dropping by to work in the garden. Not a word of it. So they've got a load of stuff unpacked there. Are they going to be staying here for a week? I think that's what they're doing. You see, now it's dawned on me. They've come up to stay here because after unpacking the Jeep there, they got the young kid with them. That's what they're at. I'm going to find out. Come on, couldn't on to me. Couldn't on to me. Nunity? Yeah. Tamai. Tamam. Tamam. Just found out. There you go. My limited Thai. I asked them where they sleep, and her they said, yeah. And I said, 1 a week. She said, yeah. And I said, why? She said, working. So there you go. So they're working. But nobody has told me. I've had to find that out for myself. Through deduction. You better believe it. Life in Thailand with a Thai family is all about deduction. You'll have to deduce what's going on. You won't be told. There's been no communication given to me as to what is going on here. And you might say, is it any of my business? Of course it is. This is where I live. This is where we're going to live when my wife retires in about 2 years' time. We live here at weekends. This is my home. But yet people come in when my wife goes to the market. I don't know who she is. She's working away there in the garden. No one told me. He comes up, the brother-in-law comes up with the missus and the kid with 2 bales of hay. And I wonder why they'd be doing that, because we're going back fairly shortly. And it turns out they're staying here for a week. And no one told me. Not that I deserved, not that I require to know. But it would be polite to inform. Am I asking too much? It's been a while since I've made a video that includes the in-laws, and a lot of people have been asking me about the in-laws and for a video that includes them. Well, here we are. And it never ceases to frustrate me when they do make an appearance here, because I'm always the one that's left frustrated by virtue of the fact that I don't know what's going on. And I won't be told. I'm going to ask her. I know the answer already, you see, because I've already asked. I've already asked, but I know they're here for a week. I know that they're going to be working, but I'm going to ask her what they're going to be working at. And I don't know. It's got very dark all of a sudden, hasn't it? Anyway, there we are. We're back to normal now. If there is any degree of normality. Meow.พี่บุญทำน้ำที่นี่
No.
She's คนพรพูด
He ทำงานที่นี่แต่ and he take back กรุงเทพ
But
He's only working here and fix กรุงเทพ
but เขาพูดนอนนูนที
One day.
She said noon teeth. Now she says they're not here for a week, they're only here for a night, but she told me that they were here. Well, the brother-in-law's missus, if you understand any tie, noon teeth means 1 week, and they're certainly unpacked enough stuff for a week, and she says they're only going to sleep for a night. Talk about ambiguity. You know, that's why I distance myself from them, because it's too frustrating trying to understand what's going on with them. This is why I say I feel lonely, because of the fact that I don't feel valued enough. Well, I don't feel valued. Obviously not valued enough to be included in the proceedings as to what's going on. No, I'm just a farang. Believe me, I'm just a farang. I'm just a fucking farang. There's no way, with the amount of stuff they've unpacked, that they're staying here one night, as she says. The other one says 1 week. You can never believe, do you know that? You can never, I wouldn't say believe, it's the wrong word. You can never take for gospel what a member of your Thai family says to you. Especially in my case. Because as you've seen, you ask one member of the family a question, they give you one answer. You ask another member of the family exactly the same question, you get a completely different answer. She says a week, she says a night. And what difference does it make to me? It doesn't really make any difference to me, but it'd be nice to be informed. Do you know, over the last 13 years now, just about 13 years, the person here behind me is the spouse of the beer bandit, the brother-in-law. And I'm speaking like this not because I'm afraid that the person might comprehend what I'm articulating, but it's just a natural thing an English speaker would do when speaking about someone in their presence, and they didn't want that person to know what they were talking about. They'd speak in a way that they think the other person wouldn't understand. I could speak in any shape, manner or form in English, and she wouldn't have a clue what I was saying because she hasn't got a word of English. But not having said that, to further emphasise what I'm talking about being isolated here, she's been a constant in my life in Thailand by virtue of the fact she's married to my wife's brother. And they come here invariably. They live within a stone's throw of us in Bangkok. We used to be their next door neighbours, actually. When I first met my wife for the first 2 years, we lived in a government style room on the 5th floor, top floor of this apartment block. An apartment is overstating it, with no elevator, and we used to live there and they used to live next door to us. They don't even have a bed, they got a mattress on the floor. That's what I'm talking about, traditional Thai. But in terms of what she has said to me, how much we've conversed in the last 13 years, whatever this video, the average video I make on this channel ranges between 8 minutes and 30 minutes, let's say. Well, if you add it up, if I would put it this way, if I made a video clip of every time I have spoken to her and she has spoken to me in the last 13 years, I doubt very much if you'd even fill 5 minutes of a video, because none of them speak with me. They speak to me. They'll say hello. So what do you, if that. But I had to tease the. Jesus, that's some amount of grapes. Sorry, hang on a second. I'm up to seeing something here. This is worthy of a mention. I mean, look at this. Abundance, huh? I better put them down. They seem to be. I was going to say they're leaking, but there's juice or moisture coming out of them. Anyway, again, just to highlight that, when I was sitting here, the camera I use is fairly elaborate. It's a fairly elaborate rig and setup. Do you think she'd say that to me? Oh, you're making another video? I mean, Pomput Prasa Thai, I do speak Thai, and I do speak enough Thai to shoot the breeze with the likes of her. But no, it's not because they're rude. It's because they're overly polite. But the thing about it is, the insularness lends itself to ignorance. And that ignorance really, really does. And, it annoys me. But this lack of curiosity, this is what it is. It's a lack of curiosity that really drives me fucking mad. I'm alone. I'm alone here in my thoughts. I don't know what is going on. I never know what's going on. And of course the food is left out. What's that? Oh, yeah, look. Half eaten something. Jeez, smells of fish. That's just left there underneath this. I'm going to take the grapes off that. There's a kind of sauce thing there, look. Just left out. What's underneath this? Oh, yes. Duck. 35 degrees, lads. 35 degrees heat. There we are. Now, that's just left there on the table. Now, you tell me. And the gravy is congealing. And that's the best word I can use. Congealing. This is what drives me mad about living with a Thai family. They leave food sweating. Look at this. Chicken and rice. Sweating in a bag here on the table. It's their way, and what is this? You know, I'm not criticising the way Thai people live. They must have something in their physical makeup that if they eat that duck, it's 35 degrees Celsius, that's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That duck is sitting there, just sitting there all morning. So far, what is it now? It's nearly 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's been there for at least, the last time I sat here was about 2 hours ago. It's been sitting there for 2 hours. And they'll eat that and they'll be fine. But if I eat that, I'll spend the rest of the week proximus to the convenience, if you know what I mean. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I can't. There's more food there, look. There's more of it there. That really annoys me about Thai culture. Food hygiene. Why couldn't they put that in the fridge? I'm excluded from eating that because I'll get food poisoning if I eat that. And so would you. I just want to say that I am thrilled to be part of this Thai family. I'm honoured and privileged. I am. I mean, it's an achievement for me. I consider it an achievement to be able to have come to a different continent, to a different country, and be part of is the wrong term because that's what this video is all about. I am part of, but I don't feel part of. I'm part of. This is the way I'd compare it. I'm as much part of the family as her family. I'm as much part of her family as a family pet would be. That's the truth. Look at the size of that bastard. Fuck. Does a wasp or a bee the size of something much larger? Put it that way. God damn. Have to keep one eye on him. Anyway, I'm as much part of the family as a family pet. And the way I would qualify that rather outrageous statement, I'm keeping an eye on that wasp. Holy shit. You wonder why I'm not going to turn the camera around? Because the minute I turn it, he'd be gone somewhere else and he'd be gone out. Anyway, here's the proof of it. If I was, or you were, a family pet and you were here mooching around doing your own thing, and the brother-in-law comes up with 2 bales of hay and all the rest of it, and you should just come up with an oblong piece of aluminium on the back of his Jeep, whatever he's doing there. But you wouldn't necessarily inform the family pet of what's going on. The family pet would have no interest in what's going on. But more or less, that's what I'm relegated to. And you might ask yourself, why am I standing here at the back of the... Well, you didn't know I was at the back of the house. I am at the back of the house because he has a Bluetooth thing and he's blaring out traditional time music. And it's not because of traditional time music. Any music will get you done for copyright. So that's why I'm as far away from that as humanly possible. She's washing vases there. It's now 1:15, and only because I asked... I said, what time are we going home at? She says about 3ish. Which she didn't say about 3ish. By Sam Qua, around about 3, something like that. That's what it roughly translates to. More meat here, look. Oh, that's been defrosted in water. And anyone will tell you, you don't defrost meat in water because it promotes the growth of the bacteria. You're supposed to defrost meat, especially chicken or pork, well, that's probably pork, it is pork, in a fridge and let it thaw out over a period of 12 hours or so. But they do it in water because that's the way they do it. And then you eat it and you end up getting food poisoning. I'm standing on things. Anyway, that's it, lads. That's it. Hang on, what's going on there? Yeah. The sister-in-law is wearing a face mask. She's wearing a face mask. What the... She's wearing a bloody face mask. I mean, what? I don't get it. I really don't. There's certain aspects of the way Thai culture is that doesn't wash with me. I'm the one at fault, not them. They can do what they want. If they want to wear a face mask, if they want to eat sweaty meat that's been left out for hours on end in 35-degree heat, let them do that. That's their prerogative. It's me that has the problem. If I've got a problem with that, I've got a problem with that. Clearly, they don't have a problem with that. But the thing I have a problem with is not being included. And I'll tell you one thing I don't have a problem with, not being included in eating that meat. Absolutely not. The reason, by the way, the camera is here. If I mooch around that corner, the way the sound waves are going, that music will infiltrate, and will become part of this video. And if that music becomes part of this video, I'll be done for copyright. Okay, there you go. I'm a little bit flustered now. I don't know why. Yeah, you know what it is? It's getting hot. Look. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. I'm sweating like fuck. Anyway, we'll be on the road shortly. But this is what I'm talking about. Being excluded. I am excluded. I don't know what's going on. I never will. And that's when I get agitated. And that's why people say I make negative videos. The only video, not the only one, but the majority of the videos that you could term as being negative on this channel are videos that involve her family. Because they annoy the heart and soul out of me, because they exclude me, they're ignorant, they're insular, and they just do not converse with me. There you go, they just do not converse, out of politeness, out of shyness, whatever it may be, but they don't. I'm on the periphery, and I don't like being on the periphery. It's now 5 to 2. I was told earlier on we're going home at 3 o'clock, as I said earlier on, around about 3 o'clock, but more of them have come. He's still flaked out there, look. That's one of the other family members' Jeep. So Dave decided to come along. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I wasn't told. I wasn't even told they were here. And when I came out, when I realised they were here, I was inside just passing the time, watching a bit of YouTube. Just like you're doing now. And I saw the car was here and I saw they brought the kids here. I said, what the fuck? So I came out. And guess what was said to me? Nothing. No one paid any heed to me whatsoever. That's what I'm talking about. By the way, none of this is staged. This is exactly how the day is unfolding. I asked my wife last night, I said, is he, and I'm going to mention name because they'll all know, the beer bandit, the brother-in-law, I mentioned about it, is he coming? And the reason I asked was because Harry will have someone to play with, because the grandkid, Harry's now playing with him there now, and I'll be off the hook. And she said no. But I wake up this morning after, I don't know, about midday, Who happens along? Only himself and the wife and the grandkid. And now there's the niece, her husband, and their 3 kids. And nobody tells me anything. You know, they say you can feel lonely in a big city, and of course you can. You can feel lonely in a marriage. But by God, you can feel lonely in a Thai family. I don't know what side of the screen I should stand on where you can see. But they're all there. Harry's in the thick of it. Oh, dear God. You'd want the patience of a saint, or you just want to be able to switch off. That's basically it. You'd want to be able to switch off. And I am. I'm kind of switched off. I don't expect anything. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be part of the family as a family pet would be. Because that's as much recognition as I get. Harry, will you come here for a sec? Harry, I want to ask you a question. Harry, I'm going to ask Harry. Just speak to the microphone. What are all these people doing here? Harry, did you know they were coming here?
No.
And what are they? How many kids are here now?
IDK and IDC.
How many kids are here?
IDK, IDC.
Oh, whatever that means. Anyway.
IDK means IDC.
Oh, I don't know. He's saying IDK. I don't know. I can count 1, 2.
IDC means I don't care.
There you go. There's a 7-year-old telling me IDK and IDC, and I didn't know what IDK and IDC mean. I don't know, and I don't care. There you go. And I shouldn't care, should I? I don't know. They're just sitting there. I'll show you. They're sitting there with the fermenting duck. They're all extremely communal. They really are. Oops. They're all extremely communal, but none of them pass me any regard whatsoever. I'm Mr. Invisible. Are you watching that? There you go. Not even an answer. That's the way it goes, lads. If I'm in a unique situation here, I'm in a unique situation, but you've just seen it there. I can go in and I might as well be a ghost. It's 3 o'clock now. This is the time we're supposed to be going home at, but of course, that's just said as a figure. It's, saving face stuff. I don't know what he's doing. I'm going to ask him, and I'm going to tell you what's happened. I was asked. Well, I'll tell you what's happened now as soon as I talk to him. So, by the way, he's welding. He damaged his eyes there about less than a year, within the last year, for welding without eye protection, and now he's welding using sunglasses. I mean, leaving meat out unrefrigerated and welding without proper eye protection. Pibun Kuntamarai. Pibun Kuntamar Anirai. Huh? Unai. Tani? Oh, Kuntep. Jesus. He's just after doing a spot weld, and I'm not getting it right in the Jesus. Oh. By the way, I asked him what this was for, and he said it was for Bangkok. He spot welding there, and as I was you saw what he did. He put the thing just. I can see it in my eyes. Anyway, she's back now, so she asked me to go up to the ATM to get 900 baht for him, and I refused to give to him for whatever work he's doing. Now you see, this is a word of cautionary tale to you guys. Regardless of what country you're in, if you're married to someone and that someone owns the property, well, she owns this property. I have no claim to this, and I don't want to claim to this. It's apparently Harry's property. She obviously, Harry's her son, Harry's my son, but that's the way it's going, you see. And I'm constantly reminded that this is not my house. I'm constantly reminded about that. So I refuse to go up to 7-Eleven to the ATM to get 900 baht to give to him, on the basis, because let's say, for example, you go through a divorce. Any money that you give in a situation like this in a house that's not yours, it disappears into the ether. It's gone. And it doesn't secure you any tenure to the property. So I refuse. If she wants him to do work for her, it's her brother. Let him go ahead and do it. It's nothing to do with me. And I can tell you, what an ignoramus. I walked up to him to ask him, and he just did the spot weld while I was there. thankfully, it was just one spark. But I swear to God, the ignorance of it. I'm afraid to look around. He's making a frame for... he hasn't got a word of English. He's making a frame for... He just said Contep, which is Bangkok. He's making a frame for Bangkok. So he's doing work here for his house in Bangkok, or somebody's house in Bangkok, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. I'm not told. And if you think, by the way, the wife says they're staying for a night, but his wife says they're staying for a week. Does that look like they're staying for a night? Come on. There's enough... Is that cooking oil? Yeah, that's cooking oil. There's enough cooking oil there to last for a month. So there he goes. Spot welding without eye protection. I'm not even going to look. There you go. He's not using the proper eye protection at all. And that's the way it goes. And that's what I mean by pure ignorance. And let them be ignorant. There's nothing wrong with it. Let them do what they want to do. But you see, because I'm in the wrong now, and I'm a bit angry because I didn't go and get 900 back to give to him. As I said, it's not my property. So why should I put money into it?
เอาเมื่อกี้ปูสั่งไม่ได้เหรอไม่เห็นมันกดอยู่นะบอกไม่เอาตังค์ไม่เอา
This video didn't start out like this, but it's evolved. My videos evolve. This is an evolving video. Let this be a cautionary tale. A legal professional in Ireland once told me what I've told you in this video. Don't hand over money to your spouse. If she has a property and it's not in your name, don't hand over money. Because if the relationship ends, you've no claim over that property. And anything you've put into it won't be counted when it comes to divvying out whatever has to be divvied out. Unless, of course, you have a paper trail that includes your spouse. But you see, you live and learn. This situation here, I have to count it as my home because I live here with my family. And when I say I don't put money, I have put money into this place. I have paid for this and that. But 900 back, just off the cuff like that, I said, hang on a second. Why should I pay for what he's doing? Sure, I don't even know what he's doing. He's making some kind of a lean-to frame or something there. Still welding, wearing a face mask while he's welding. Oh, God damn the mentality of it. With his sunglasses and his sombrero, well, you can call it a sombrero. There'll be a lot of people that watch this video and will say that I'm being derogatory. I'm not being derogatory at all. These people have got a right to do what they want to do. It's their country. It's their culture. I'm just giving you my reaction to it. And how when I said I was on the periphery, I absolutely meant that, and I mean that. But you're never on the periphery when it comes to money in Thailand. I'm not saying that I'm expected to pay for X, Y, and Z. I'm expected to pull my weight. That's fair enough. I'll give you another example of how this works. You may remember a month or so ago, I made a video about bringing 15 or 16 gin bottles to the recycling depot and getting 5 baht back for them. Well, you see, I use Schweppes mixers, not mixers, they're, soda, Schweppes soda, lemon soda, blah, 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 as mixers with my gin. And I go through about 4 cans, or 17 baht, the small little cans. I go through four of those cans on a night if I was drinking gin. And I have 2 nights drinking a week, Friday and Saturday. So I go through 8 cans on a weekend. And over the course of weekends, these build up. There was a full black bag of them there. You know what she does? They're in the back of his Jeep now. And we had this argument before. Why can't I recycle the cans, the aluminium cans. You get more for the aluminium than you get for the glass bottles. Why can't I recycle them? She says, no. You give. I'm not going to mention his name. You know who I mean, the beer bandit. He gets them. And if I was to go up and take them out of the Jeep now, I'd be the one that'd be causing the problems. She's cooking. Fair play to her. She's a wonderful person. They're all wonderful people. I'm not wonderful. Well, I don't feel wonderful because I'm not included. I'm only included when it's go to the ATM to get 900 band for him. I don't know what she's cooking. I'm going to have a look.
ผัดกินแบบให้ฝั่งนี้ผัดป่ะแล้วก่อนผัดเอ็กซ์นี้ไม่เหลืออยู่เพราะตอนเช้าจะได้
Harry didn't finish his pizza meal.
เดี๋ยววันนี้ก็กินเสร็จ
We're supposed to be going home. We're supposed to be going home at 3 o'clock, as I said. But of course, that's just saving face. That means nothing. That means I knew that at the time. That means nothing. She's cooking. They're working. They're going to be staying. Well, she says for one night. I doubt that very much. And you might say, well, why doesn't she? Why is there confusion? I tell you, living with a Thai family is confusion. It is. And I make more positive videos now because I don't associate myself, or they don't associate themselves with me on such a regular basis. But this is just one of those days where we are associated. Oh, dear God Almighty. Well, it's the next day, lads, and I'm back in the relative sanctuary of Bangkok, away from all that insularness. But you see, before we finish this video, I just want to highlight something. There's nothing wrong with being insular. There's nothing wrong with being ignorant. Each to their own. If it annoys me, that's my problem. I just highlight this because it does cause problems for me, but that's my fault, not their fault. That's the way they are. They were like that before I was here. They're like that. Well, I don't know if they're going to be around longer than me, but whatever it is, I'm not going to change the way they behave, and they won't change the way I behave. And I hope, lads, you've enjoyed this video. It's been a snapshot of life with a Thai family, and my experience may not be, and probably isn't, absolutely probably isn't, your experience. But let me know if I touched a chord, and let me know what you think. And if you haven't done so already, now is a good time to do this. Click the like button, the share button, subscribe button. Do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.
So that love is